Hello, my name is Stephen Thomas, and this is another video in the series about Azure Integration Services and hybrid options. This video is going to be a quick look at the Azure Portal, kind of from an integration developer's point of view. This is also a look at the portal for somebody who's brand new to the portal and hasn't really worked with it very much in the past. So this isn't going to be a full, deep review of the portal itself, of all its features, but just kind of some key things you'd like to know to get up and running and to help build some Azure solutions. Let's do a quick overview of a little bit more about the Azure Portal. The Azure Portal, of course, is a great way to make changes to Azure artifacts. The portal's been around for as long as I can remember, kind of working with Azure artifacts, 10, 12 years now. And this came a long way throughout the years in terms of features available in the portal. It first started out that most of the development you would do with Azure was going to be through the SDK or through PowerShell, and then more and more features were moved into the portal itself. They've done a great job now at having a lot of parity between your PowerShell commands and your Azure Portal features. So that's a plus. There's also was some tooling around Service Bus that used to only be available kind of through the APIs, and then now they've been moving some of that Service Bus stuff into the portal as well, which is all a good thing. Even some SQL tasks can now be done and execute SQL commands through the portal. So great changes there. You can use a lot of different browsers to access the portal. I tend to use Chrome myself, just has always worked the best in the past over the years, so I stick with that. I think Edge is getting better and better adoption as well, but I tend to not have any issues with Chrome, especially doing a lot of logic apps with the designers that are built in the browser window. Chrome seems to be a good choice for that. The portal does change now and then, so as new features are added, you'll see changes to the portal. Something as simple as like creating a virtual machine that used to be a one-page, one-step process back in the day. Now it's a multi-tab process with virtual networking and disk selections and pre-provisioning, and all that has just kind of changed and evolved over time. So don't be surprised if you log in and see that things are very different. New features are always being added, so as the portal changes, it's a lot of times because of these new features, which is great, because having something new is generally better and enhances what they have out there. And custom dashboards. This is something else that I wasn't very aware of initially. Custom dashboards you can set them up as you wish, add the widgets that you'd like to use, and you can even create these dashboards and share them within your organization with others. So you could create a production support dashboard, for example, or like a UAT testing dashboard, and pre-fill it with the widgets and components that people would want to look at, and then you can share these with other members of your team. So that's a big time saver. So with that, let's jump in and take a quick look at a demo, a first look at the Azure Portal. We're now over in the Azure Portal, and I've simply logged into my account using one of my work email addresses. If you don't have an active subscription, I think once you log in, you're going to be prompted to create a subscription. There's several free options out there to get some free trial credit to use. Also, if you have a Visual Studio subscription, what used to be MSDN licenses, a lot of those come with free compute usage on a monthly basis as well. So there's a lot of ways to be able to get access into Azure and start building artifacts. When you see here, this will be your main landing page. So you want to get started by going to this gear icon on the top right. When you select the gear icon, you'll see a bunch of different things. If you have multiple directories, which is kind of like multiple companies that you work for, you're able to select a default one and change them here if you'd wish. This is more of an advanced feature, not something we're going to talk about. What I want to do is go under Appearance and Startup Views. And this is where you can change the core layout of your Azure portal. Different accounts I have kind of have these things set up differently, but you can all go in here under the gear icon, Appearance and Startup View, and make changes. I personally like this menu on the left docked, so I leave that docked. You can select some themes, your contrast, and then you have the ability to change your startup view. What I have it set on now is the home page. If I want to go directly to a dashboard, I can select it here and then select the dashboard that I would like it to go to. I'm not going to change that. I'm just going to leave it at home for now, and we're all set there. So with that, when we go over to our home screen, this is going to be the layout I want to see. If I want to see my dashboards, I can click on Dashboard, and here's just my dashboard, a private dashboard that I have created. You do have the ability to select down here, and you could browse all dashboards. So if I had additional dashboards that I had created, I could see them here. If I had ones that were shared within my organization, I would see them here as well, and I'd be able to select them as I see fit. I'm going to cancel out of this. To make changes to the dashboard, you can click Edit, and then you could add new widgets over here on the right. I'm just going to add a clock, for example. And if there's settings that you can adjust on these, you could come over here and adjust them. Not everything has settings, but when they're here, you'll see them. You can change the size of the clock in this instance, and some settings over here to edit the clock. I'm just going to save this because I want to leave it as is. And then here you can see I have adjusted this dashboard. If I want to create a new dashboard, I come over here and do Create. Click Custom if I want to create a custom one, and then give it a name. I'm just going to call it Live Demo. Hit Save. And there's nothing on here, so I could click Edit and just add whatever I see fit, drag it on, and I can select where I want it in my dashboard. And I come over here and hit Save, and that's going to go ahead and save my live demo dashboard. Now I can toggle between these. I have some other ones that I've recently created as well, and my default one was this live dashboard over here. Over here on the left, these are the items in your favorites layout. To add things to the favorites, the easiest is to go to All Services. And this is going to list all the services available in Azure. And it does a nice job of organizing them kind of by resource grouping. So like all the AI components are going to be together. And you can simply scroll down and see all the different items you have in here, and you can see some of these are starred. So all the items that are starred are going to show up over here in your favorites menu on the left. Let's just go to Azure load testing, and let's say we want to select that. You select the star. I can select it in this screen as well, or in that pop-up, and it added it down here to the bottom. You can drag and drop these components, move them around as you'd like, and then they'll be reordered as you set fit. And if I don't want this on here anymore, I can hover over it, carefully scroll to the right, unstar it, and now that's going to be removed from my dashboard or on my features list, a favorites list on the side. So that's kind of a cool feature I like there too. I like to keep my favorites clean with the items I'm working on. I'll create my dashboards and generally have core resources pinned here that I use a lot. This shows a whole resource group. I generally don't use that kind of layout. I'll tend to pin specific resources when I'm working on them, and then unpin them when I'm done working on them. But this was kind of a high level first look overview. By no means does this cover all the features of the portal. But if you're brand new to working with Azure and doing Azure integration, these are some of the core things that I think you'd like to know to be able to get full advantage of your work time and leverage the portal. So with that, I think we've seen one of the quickest demos of the Azure portal out there. If you do want to learn more, I have a list of all the videos in this video series on my website, stephenwthomas.com/learn. There's also some Pluralsight courses out there. The top two are the most current, related to enterprise messaging and enterprise logic apps. And there's two older ones, getting started in fundamentals, that are very relevant if you really want to dive in and learn more about logic apps. Even though they're dated, their topics are very relevant today to what they're covered. And thank you, and feel free to reach out if you have any questions.